Okay, so to answer the question how important it is, the network security to Cisco businesses. Okay, I don't know you are aware about it or not, but the actual real focus on security from Cisco started when we acquired Ironport. Okay, it is one of the largest acquisition what we have done as far as security goes in Cisco, and that is where the refocus on the security happened. And the best part is we understood that the transition what is happening, which we are tracking in the industry. Okay, one is the IT consumerization, right? That is leading the market trend. The second one is especially focusing on the security. There is nothing called as gateway or a perimeter in today's network, right? And security, always the security strategy used to be evolved on the perimeter, right? So how you can secure your perimeters. There is nothing called as gate now. Okay, because of the smart devices which are getting in, that is one of the IPv6, which is going to add more devices into the network, okay, which are keep on getting into the network and getting connected to the corporate environment is changing the game again as far as security goes. The third trend which we are looking at is the cloud. Okay, when you have a physical asset, that is the network, today's trusted asset, right? Okay, it is very simple to secure it because you have the control. Okay, now when you have virtualizing all these assets and porting to the cloud, okay, and these are not in physical in nature, okay, how to manage it, because this asset can be moved as per your need, right? And this is the third one where we understood that the security is very important, and this will be the game changer, okay, because cloud or virtualization security will be an enabler, right? And the fourth one is the video. Okay. If you see today's network, okay, how the network is transitioned, currently we are tracking in our Cisco network, corporate network, 60% of our traffic is video. Okay, and that is happening across. And you will not believe it, when I started interacting with the customers, okay, I thought in India, because of the bandwidth and the infrastructure issues, video will not be the game changer. But I was surprised. So I understand, I spoken to customer, PSU customers, government customers using YouTube as a training device or a marketing device. Okay, so this is some of the trends which we are captured, and we said, okay, this is going to be a game changers, okay, for tomorrow's network, and security will become the key enabler for this trend. Okay, that is where we created a separate business unit just focusing on security, and started bringing all the different security solutions which are spread across, because Cisco is a very huge portfolio, right? So we wanted to bring into one umbrella so that the entire focus can be given to the one umbrella, and we can integrate our approach of architecture, okay, into all this diverse security product portfolio which is spread across. So this is to answer your first query.
Good.
For home users, okay, now I don't know, they will go for a hardware based firewall, right? So it will normally be a personal firewall which will be installed on a desktop. Okay, now if you ask a pure technical guy, okay, security technical guy, how many types of firewall you have seen, okay, he will not talk about the software and the hardware. That is just the media, okay, how it is presented to you, right? So if you really want to understand the different type of firewall, then the firewall will be pure packet inspecting firewall, stateful firewall, and the application proxy based firewall. That is the technical answer to it. But to a home user, now I advocate that they should use a personal firewall, and normally personal firewall comes as a software version, and it is more than adequate for a home PC environment. But if you are using a router, okay, which gives a facility, okay, in the hardware itself with some of the firewall features, okay, let's talk about one of the question you were asking about the wireless network safety, right? So I jotted down some of the points what I done, because I also use a wireless router in my home, right? I jotted down some of the points which I will discuss it later. But in that, what I mentioned is, if I have a ACL rule capability, okay, that is nothing but a firewall capability again. ACL rule is nothing but access control least, okay, which is the access to be given, which is not to be given, right? So if you have that kind of a facility, why can't restrict a MAC address? Okay, because you know how many PCs will be get connected into your home network, right? Okay, why can't control at that level? So if you have that facility, you don't have to go and buy it, because the software is more than enough, software firewalls. Okay, if it is there, please use it as a second layer defense. That will be my submission. Okay, so just for the record's sake, IPv6 is required because you are exhausted the IPv4 addresses, and that is one of the main reason people are pushed to move, and people are not okay with this move, but there is no other way. Why people are not okay with this move? Because there is a huge infrastructure which is already built on IPv4. Okay, when you want to move to IPv6, then it is a huge capital expenditure again, right? But there is no way. We need to do that, and the service providers the first one to go for, because they are providing the services to the rest of the world, right? And corporates are the next one which they are looking at to move, and they are looking at perimeter devices first to move across, right? So that is the approach they are taken. And let's come back to the security, right? Now people say that IPv4 created long time back, okay, and it was created for networking devices, so security was not a issue at that time, right? And security was an afterthought as far as IPv4 goes. But when IPv6 standard has been built, there are lots of security features are added into it, right? But is that enough? It is not. Okay, we have the same risk going forward in IPv6. I would say we will have more risk. Why? Because somebody was telling me that each atom in this earth will have 4 or 6 IP addresses. Okay, that is the status somebody was quoting. I don't know is true or not. But if this is the status, okay, why I will use a private IP address when I'm going and getting connected to the network? Why not use public IP addresses? Okay, the issue of conversion, okay, and lots of routing issues, switching issues will be resolved if I directly use my public IP address. And also, today's the trend is everybody wants to use smart devices. Okay, and the same generation who is using these smart devices want to get into the corporate. They want to carry that devices into the corporate, not only to use personal usage, but also for the corporate usage, right? When they're getting connected, okay, and everybody will have IP addresses because of the IPv6, maybe a public IP address, who knows, okay? And there are lots of intelligent devices are coming. People are talking about intelligence IP enabled coffee machine. Okay, and Cisco is looking at we have in borderless network we have one of the main focus areas, energy wise we call it as, okay, technologies, where we are talking about green IT. Okay, we are talking about how to control this kind of smart devices, how you can control and shut down, okay, or put it in a standby mode, right? So if you want this kind of control, definitely you need to connect these devices into the IP, right? Otherwise you can't control, right? If all these devices are getting connected, look at the security. Okay, how you can make sure that your video camera or a coffee machine is connected to your network, but that coffee machine is, rather than going to an EnergyWise console in your data center, it is going to our Oracle database. Is it your coffee machine going to Oracle database, or somebody else is connected to that port and going to the Oracle database? How are you going to authenticate that? Because for coffee machine you don't have any authentication. How are you going to understand that? Right? This is going to be a major challenge. right? So that is where we are trying to build a context aware network, okay, which will be the next generation network in future.
Okay.
That is what Cisco is doing.
Fine.
It is basically a choice, okay, what you choose to, okay, and how much security you can afford, not by the cost I'm talking about, okay, by the risk I'm talking about, okay. You need to profile your risk, okay. I can give an example. Now I said in Cisco 60% topic is video, right? Okay, it could be a normal video data sheet, okay, or it could be a TP video streaming. TP, you know, right? Telepresence, right? So there are TP sessions which are running, okay, which may be routine sales related, which could be where a leader is talking to a acquisition team, where we are talking about how to acquire a company. Okay, now you have to profile the risk between these two streams. Now the acquisition team discussion is riskier to expose, right? So if I want to secure that, then I can add a extra layer of security on top of it. It could be through a tunnel, it could be just encrypting that particular session, or it could be point-to-point encryption from that device to the end device. It could be anything, right? So if you ask me technical answer, technology is there. Now it has to be by the user. You have to choose that he wants to go for the security or not, because the cost is involved, implementation is involved, complexity is involved. Okay, now if you ask the same question to the home user, like Skype and all this thing is people are using, right? You want to secure it, way is there, but today if you ask me, none of those VoIP streams are secure, not the video streams are secure. So first of all, just to give some examples, everybody knows that the terrorist bomb attack happened. Before that, they sent a mail using home network, right? The example is there. Okay, so it is much more easier to hack a home network, wireless network, because the home users are not IT savvy. In corporate, you have IT team who knows how to secure it. Home users knows how to conveniently connect, and wireless is very convenient to get connected to the internet, right? So what they use is the default settings, which is published by the manufacturer anyway. So that is what normally people use to hack into. Okay. The another thing what I seen is there are legitimate tools which you can use. Like I was just discussing with one of my my customer on why it is important to encrypt your wireless internet connectivity when you are roaming. So you are traveling in an airport, right? You normally use your wireless connectivity to roam, right? And you get into your social network like Facebook or chat session or blah blah blah, right? Okay. So if you are using Firefox, there is a add-in to Firefox called as, I think it is Black Sheep. Okay. This is the add-in. Okay. What it does is it will allow you to snoop the wireless network. Okay, and it will capture all the cookies which are floating around in a clear test, and it will be a clear test because you are using a Wi-Fi in a public domain, right? So once you get this, it can also show you, okay, this is the public site and this is the username and the password which is used, and you can log in. Okay, and this can become identity theft. It is so easy. Okay, you can download and you can test it out, right? So that is already available, right? And this is some of the issues which we are grappling with as far as wireless is concerned. So these are the security threats. So now what I can do is I noted down some of the points which I done. Okay, this is practical thing which I done in my home network. If I can, okay. So I am not gone through step by step. This may be in different, right? So I will just read it out the point by point. What are the things I done? Okay, so the first thing you need to do is your access point firmware is the latest. Okay, you bought your access point. It could be a router, it could be a wireless switch or whatever you are using, right? So firmware should be updated. Why this is important? Not because there are new features that are added into the firmware. It is because there may be some new vulnerability which has been identified in the old firmware and it has been patched. So that is why it is important, right? This is the first thing. The second thing is change your access point password. It's common sense. Okay, whatever is there, it is default, it is published, everybody knows about it. Okay, so the third one I noted down is when you configure your wireless network, okay, there will be a default name will be given to the wireless network. In a technical parlance, it is called as SSID, right? And normally people keep a default name. Okay, it is much more easier to identify and intrude, right? Change that default name to something else, right? So this is the third advice I can give it. And configure the access point to use encryption. Okay, so this is another best practice you need to follow. And I'm a technical guy, so I use 128-bit key, which is cumbersome, but it is more secure. So please use it if it's possible. And power off AP when you're not using access point. Okay, because it is on, it is broadcasting that okay, wireless service is there and anybody can try to hack it, right? And next one, disable DSCP, right? If you have a DSCP service enabled, okay, automatically anybody wants to get connected, they'll get IP address. And anyway, this service is required when you have a huge number of PCs which are trying to get connected. You don't have it in your home network, right? In home network, how many devices will be get connected? And you know all the devices. Then why not use static IP address, right? Okay, there is another one which I discovered in my AP, which may not be there in all the others, but you can take a look at it. Broadcasting the SSID feature. Okay, if your access point is broadcasting its SSID, okay, then disable that. No need to broadcast that, okay, this network is present, so do you want to get connected, right? Why? Not required. So some of the access point gives that feature to disable it, so you can disable it. And like last time I said, if you have ACL feature which can be added, then add the access control list so that only those MAC addresses which are your PCs or laptops or whatever devices are there in your home network can get connected. Okay, otherwise none of the other devices can get connected. So these are some of the things on the access point side. The other things which I, as a value addition, I noted down is what you should do on the PC side, because you are using something to get connected to this wireless network, right? So it is very important to get your NIC card, network interface card, to be upgraded to the latest device drivers. Okay, again the same reasoning, right? And PC operating system patch has to be updated because they also get vulnerability bugs, so you need to patch them. And third thing I done is turn off file and print sharing, okay, which is not required. Then why you need to broadcast that service, okay? And fourth one I done is I installed the antivirus, and licensed antivirus, by the way, okay, so that you can get a proper update and upgrade. Because remember one thing, antivirus, if it is not latest, then it is useless. So you need to keep on updating the signatures and the patches for the antiviruses, right? And the fifth one is the personal firewall, like I said. So it is a must, okay, in today's environment, right?